One. There he is. What's happening, everybody? Yours truly. This is comedian Mike Marino live from my mother's basement, and we are absolutely 100% live tonight. This is my first broadcast for the new year 2020. I know a lot of people have been calling me and texting me and getting together with me on my social media saying, Mike, where the fuck are you? Well, I guess a lot of people know I got kind of sick. So let's talk about how great Christmas was for everybody. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you had the greatest holiday season. You got together with your family, you got together with your friends, and everybody's not hurt. There were no fights. You had some great food. You didn't gain too much weight, and everybody's happy, cool. I hope you had a wonderful, happy New Year's Eve. I hope you all went out on New Year's Eve and had the greatest time. You had appetizers, you had great dinners, you had great foods, you had great friends, you had great parties. Confetti shot from the ceiling, balloons popped every which way you went. You did this with the thing, and you went like that with that thing, because nobody knows what the fuck those things are called. But we all enjoyed them once a year. How they make any money on that shit, I have no idea, because you only see it once a year, or maybe twice around the 4th of July. I actually entertained at a big gala on New Year's Eve, but I entertained within 10 hours of having my gallbladder removed from my stomach. That's right. I had a problem with my gallbladder. It's called gallstones. I don't know what stones were doing in my bladder. I've never eaten a stone in my life. Well, no, maybe I take that back. I'm sure I ate a couple of pebbles when I was a kid, because that's what we did when we were kids. You got in a fight on the playground, somebody pushed your head into the fucking concrete, and you ate a couple of pebbles, and you grew up like a tough guy, which is normal. I'm sure I did that to a couple of people too. I held them down on the ground, I pushed your face into the gravel, and I said, eat that rock, you son of a bitch. But what would those stones be doing in my gallbladder after all these years? I have no idea. So what did I do? I called up a friend who had been staying at my house, and I said, I'm having some really bad pains in my stomach, right underneath my right rib. So we got in the car and we drove down to a hospital in Red Bank, New Jersey, called the Riverview Medical Center. What's happening, Riverview Medical Center? Thank you so much for saving my life, not once with the gallbladder, but about 5 or 6 years ago, when I had 8 inches of my colon removed from my stomach at the same hospital by the same doctor. Thank you, Dr. Cucini, for being at the hospital miraculously 2 times when I got there to save me. You understand? So I go down there and I says to the lady working the door, Happy New Year. But I'm having a badass problem right underneath my rib. I feel like somebody's stabbing the shit out of me. She says, oh, it sounds like you might be having a problem with your gallbladder. And I said, yes, due to some x-rays about a year ago, they said that I had some stones in my gallbladder. And she said, well, why don't we get you seen by the doctor? And within seconds, you're laying on a gurney and you're being pushed around the hospital by a volunteer who they called Mr. Happy Pants. Mr. Happy Pants had some pants on that were golfing pants, but they were powder blue with sailboats on them, if you know what I'm talking about. So Mr. Happy Pants is pushing me around, and he's trying to crack some jokes about 95-year-old guy. And I said to him, I happen to be a comedian. He says, yeah, I was a comedian too. And he shut me right down. So they pull me into this room, and before you know it, there's x-ray machines all over the place. And they have this little thingy, like an iron. You felt like an ironing board, and they throw some jelly on it, and they rub that jelly around your stomach. And within about a half hour, they came back in and said, you have an infection in your gallbladder. We suggest we take your gallbladder out of your stomach. And I said, well, why would you do that? They said, because you don't need it. And I says, well, I have a couple extra pounds in my stomach that I don't need. Can you take that out too? And they said, no. That's a different type of surgery by a different type of doctor who works about 5 miles away. They call him something else. And there's a lot of people that call him something else too, starting with the word A. I mean the letter A. He also does noses, eyes, ears, lips, and tits. Oh, and asses too. You can get your ass blown up now. If you're a girl who's thin and you're unhappy with your ass, Why not blow it up 10 different sizes so that older people could look at you like you're fucking nuts? And a guy like me says, thank God I don't have any kids, because if I had a daughter who did that to the ass, I'd slap the shit out of her. Happy New Year, everybody. So anyway, I go in there and I wait and I wait and I wait. And finally, I go into the surgery. And they put you under with a thing called propofol with some extra things called tequila. So I'm under, and all of a sudden, I wake up and they say, you're done. Your gallbladder is now removed from your body. You can go home. I said, let me get this straight. I just had major surgery. An organ that was in my stomach, and I don't know why they call it an organ, because it's not something that you play and it doesn't make any music. However, once you take the gallbladder out, that organ does start making music. It's called farting. You fart. It's the funniest music ever to come out from an organ. It's called a fart. Well, not only did I fart, I threw up. I threw up so intensely, I burst blood vessels in my eyes. Can you see it? They're better now, but I look like a devil. So I went home, had a friend pick me up, threw up a couple times in his car, but that's okay because nothing comes out. You ever notice when you throw out and you have this throw up and you have this thing called the dry heaves and nothing really comes out? You're just going, "Hah, hah," and nothing comes out. But for some reason or other, it actually feels kind of good. So anyway, I get home to my house, I lay down, I sleep for a little bit, and I feel like somebody stabbed the shit out of me. Not that I've ever been stabbed, but I can only assume. Well, technically I was stabbed because they actually take these rods this long. There's 3 of them, and they put one side, and in the belly button, and they suck out your bladder. Supposedly the bladder looks like a ravioli. Either that or I was just hungry. I asked them if I could have my stones, but they said there were too many. I don't know why that's an excuse for not giving me my stones. I should have been able to have had my stones. I only wanted just a few. So anyway, I get home and I figure, what the hell? I have a New Year's Eve show. I'm feeling pretty good. I show up on New Year's Eve. One of my favorite movie stars who happens to be a fan of mine. That's right, Sean Young, from so many different movies. Make sure you know who Sean Young is. She's a fan of mine and she comes to my shows. That's right. She was in a lot of movies, like the movie Dune. Give me a movie because I'm drawing a blank.
Catwoman. She
was Catwoman, or in the movie Catwoman. That I really don't know. But she was also in, way back with, somebody help me over here, Sean Young. Anyway, they'll come to me. Blade Runner, Dune, Eddie Murphy, not Eddie Murphy, way back in the 70s. Okay, never mind. Somebody write in if you remember all the movies that Sean Young has been in. That would be really cool. So she comes to the show. We have a lot of fun. We ring in the new year. Then after the new year, you could just yell it out. Yell it out. Stripes. She was in the movie Stripes.
Dune, Wall Street.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Kiss Before Dying.
Okay, there's a bunch of Sean Young movies. Well, she's a friend of mine, and she came down to see my show, which she's done many different times, and I appreciated that. So far, I've been drinking water since this big mission, but tonight I'm feeling a little weird, and I have to have some ginger ale. I believe this ginger ale should pick me up because I've been down, lethargic. I don't know what the word is, but the word that means you're not feeling good. You see what happens when you remove your bladder? Holy shit. Sorry, everybody. But you know what? This is live. I can't cut to a commercial break. So I've been off the camera. I've been off the grid, laying low. So tonight is my last night in the state of New Jersey, live from my mother's basement, my beautiful mom's basement. Well, look. See, there's the thing where I had all the in the arm, sucking my blood. Called something, that thing. I haven't even been able to wash this off. They stuck it in there so good. It's still making like a thing. So tonight's my first broadcast of the new year, but it's my last broadcast here in the basement because tomorrow morning I'm headed down to Fort Lauderdale. And luckily, yours truly will do another couple of days on a film set of a TV series called Silent Partners. You know, and I love him. My partner, Gary Pastore, is on the set right now, and he is doing scenes with the legend himself, Nick Vallelonga, who is the writer and the Oscar recipient of that movie, Green Book. They're on the set right now. My friend Ronnie Marmo is down there, and of course, the entire cast of megastars that I can't wait to meet when I get down there tomorrow. So I hope Ciro's watching the show, and I hope everybody down there is watching the show. Big shout out, Ronnie Marmo, Gary Pastore, Nick Vallelonga, Ciro DiBaggio, and all those cats that are down there on the set. I can't think of everybody's name off the top of my head, but I'll get to see them tomorrow, and maybe even tomorrow night or Wednesday while we're filming, I'll do another live from my mother's basement while we're down there. And then from there, I continue on to Los Angeles, California. So here I come. I'm on my way back, everybody in California. If you're in the Los Angeles area, let's start off the new year by coming to see some live events at the world famous Laugh Factory in Hollywood, California on Sunset Boulevard. So if you're on Sunset Boulevard and you're in the Hollywood area, January 9 and 10, look me up. I will be at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood. Also on January 10, I'll be at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach, California. It's called doing a double. You're hitting Hollywood and you're hitting Long Beach. On January 16th, I'll be at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach once again doing a solo big night performance, welcoming Mike Marino back to Los Angeles after being on tour for 2.5 months. I haven't been in Los Angeles in over 2.5 months. Hey, thanks, Boston. Thanks for writing in. Go to MikeMarino.net and you'll know when I'm coming back to Boston because that's going to be big. We're not only doing Boston, folks, Chicago, all over New Jersey, Queens, New York, upstate New York, Kansas, Kentucky, Iowa, even some Salt Lake City, Utah shows. On January 17th, I'll be back at the Ha Ha Comedy Club in North Hollywood. If you want some complimentary tickets to any of these shows, instant message me, and I will hook you up with some front row seats, back row seats, center seats. Yeah, come back to LA. That's right, Guido girl. I'm coming back to LA. I'm coming back this week. So just keep on going to MikeMarino.net. Write to me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my newsletter, and you will get all the information on when I'm coming into your neighborhood to do a live performance with some great new characters. I've rehearsed today with a comedian that's going to be doing some shows with me. You're going to love this shit. I'll make that announcement in the next 5 minutes. So that's the Ha Ha Comedy Club in North Hollywood on January 17, January 18. Watch out, Fresno. I love coming up to Northern California, especially areas like Fresno and Clovis. I'm going to be doing one night show at the Press Box. That's in Clovis, California. Go to MikeMarino.net. You can go to thepressbox.net. It's on Henderson Avenue in Clovis, California. From there, I'm continuing on, and the shows are going to get crazy. I'll be back in Montreal, Canada. I'm going to be in Ottawa, Canada. I'm going to be in Toronto, Canada, Phoenix, Arizona, Stir Crazies. We're going to go to Delray Beach, Florida, St. George's Theater, the Raz Room, the Keswick Theater, the Princess Theater, MobMovie.com. I got so many shows lined up, and we're doing 2 big events. But right now, I want to tell everybody one of the next performers that I'm going to be working with is the legend himself, Joe Gorga, who happens to be on the TV show Jersey Housewives. So if you've been watching the New Jersey Housewives, there's a little husband on that show, and his name is Joe Gorga, and he's the husband of Melissa. We rehearsed all day today, and the first show that we're doing on February 18th at Levity Live in Nyack, New York, also starring Tammy Pascatelli, is going to fucking rock like you have never seen. Now, I can't really even drop this information because the show is already sold out. You can't get a ticket. We're probably going to add a show, but if you don't have a chance to see us on that night, I can tell you right now, tickets did not go on sale yet for this show, but on May 29, all 3 of us will be at the Mopac Theater in Montclair, New Jersey. So just keep on looking out for that. We'll make that happen. We'll get you those tickets. We'll show you what's what. Hold on a minute. Somebody's writing into the show a little too fast. Hey, everybody. How you doing? I want to say thank you so much for everybody in the last entire 2 years that have been watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. You could always watch the podcast whenever you want on Facebook Live, Mike Marino Live on Facebook, Instagram, Mike Marino Live on Facebook. But it doesn't stop there. You know I'm on iTunes. You can listen to me on iTunes, Google, Spotify, podcast app, your favorite podcast app. You can make money watching my show. I can make money when you're watching my show. Just go to Podcoin and make yourself some cash. Also, you can listen to me on ItalianAmericanRadio.com and DDVRadio.com. All you got to do is log on to MikeMarino.net and you will get all this information. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I'm going to try to lose some weight now. I already lost 5 pounds. It's called removing the gallbladder. But since this year was so much fun, we got to do things like this. That's right, we ate gingerbread. I'm not going to eat this whole thing. I obviously ate half of his brain. We ate Christmas trees. These are butter cookies sent to me by a famous promoter in northern Pennsylvania. I don't want to drop everybody's name because people in this world get nuts. I'm tell you people something out there. If you tell friends that you're friends with somebody who happens to be popular and you use that as an excuse to make that person go meet that person, and I know you know what I'm talking about, don't do that. That's called stalking. You can get arrested. All right. So we had bells, Italian cookies. Look how delicious all this stuff is. I'm dying to eat all. The cream is still on these cookies, the butter cookies, the cheese cookies, the guandon blaz, and the regular cookie. How insane is this? And I ate it all, and that was one of the reasons why I had a gallbladder problem. I even have another plate over here. Oh, they smell delicious. They're mushy. They melt on your tongue. I think sometimes cookies replace sex. Because when you get older, you know what? Sex is a lot of work. You make a cup of coffee, you dip a cookie like this, and you're going right to bed. Fuck all of that noise. This is easy, and it don't complain. It don't yell at you. It don't say, oh, I don't like what you did. Screw that. You just eat that thing. I had a lot of sponsors this year. Of course, the main sponsor, Locatelli Cheese. Thank you so much for everything that you had done. And this year, here comes all the new stuff. Big shout out to Florence Ravioli on Park Avenue in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. We're always going to be talking about one of the best places to get great Italian delicacies. It's Florence Ravioli on Park Avenue in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, my hometown. Also, big shout out to one of our greatest, most funnest sponsors, the Hero King of Nutley, New Jersey. Hero King. They make great sub sandwiches, hot and cold. And not only do they make hot and cold sub sandwiches, but they have their own colas. Cream soda, orange soda, root beer soda, cola. It is just the best. And you guys can visit them too. Home of the Hero King, 132 Franklin Avenue, Nutley, New Jersey. Look them up on the internet at www.theheroking.com. And I know they're going to love you for doing that. And we're going to make sure that they're always mentioned on all the shows that I do around the country, because I bring sponsorships with me. If you guys want to sponsor anything that I'm doing around the country, all you have to do is instant message me at MikeMarinoFans@gmail.com. MikeMarinoFans@gmail.com. In fact, anybody can write to me at any time. MikeMarinoFans@gmail.com. If you go to my website, MikeMarino.net, I hope you'll subscribe. You'll always get my newsletter. You always know where I'm going. You always know when the shows are coming into your neighborhood. Those liquor bottles wear those panties well. Oh, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So I'm getting a nice little chime in. Yes, well, I actually sell underwear, and the underwear says "Get the Bat." And to keep it on display, I put it on the liquor bottles. I had to get it up there somehow. And not only do I sell underwear that says "Get the Bat," I sell these beautiful T-shirts over here that actually say "Make America Italian Again," and the front of the T-shirt says "New Jersey's bad boy. Don't take no shit from nobody." So if anybody ever wants to buy any one of my Mike Marino swags, just go to MikeMarino.net, and I'll make sure that purchase comes to you right away. In fact, I'm actually trying to help promote a friend's clothing line, and all you have to do is go to that clothing line again, too, because I promoted this over the holidays. I'd like to do it one more time. I might even do it a couple more times when we get back to Los Angeles. Bubba, I hope you're watching the show tonight. And this is the hat of America Manja Warrior. American Manja Warrior. Go to the website, AmericanManjaWarrior.com, and you can pick up baby onesies. Look how cute this is for your little kid. It comes in T-shirts for a lot of different size people. including small, medium, large, way too large, and just keep on being an American manja warrior, right? So not only can you get these, you can get Mike Marino swag. And you know what? If you buy swag from me in the next 48 hours, I will send you a complimentary cookie because I have so many cookies I can't get rid of them. Also, American Manja Warrior comes in a cup. I love coffee cups. I collect coffee cups. What size is those underwear come in, Mike? The underwear comes in small, medium, large, and these panties are really not for everybody. And I say that because right now, the back of the underwear says get the back. The front of the underwear says make America Italian again. Now, if you buy a small, medium, or a large, it says get the back. But if it comes in any sizes bigger than that, it would say gabagool. I don't think I want to sell underwear that stretched across as anybody's ass that says gabagool. You get it? When I was a kid, that's what my mother called you, little booty. The ghoulie. It's your ghoulie. And if you're not a good kid, I'm going to slap you right on your fucking ghoulie. That's what my mother said. I will slap the shit out of you on your ghoulie. And that's the way we should have been writing in all these things and keeping these things, because now when you watch the news, kids absolutely 100% slap the ghoulie of their parents, and their parents go to jailio. Let's bring back pin the tail on the donkey. Blindfold your kid, spin him around, hand him a knife, and tell him to go find the donkey's ass as he walks through the crowd of friends that he brought over to the house. That will make him grow up great. Let's see who else is writing. Hey, Adam, I'm coming to Florida tomorrow. And Scott's nice to see you. Linda, hey, Brian, thank you for writing into the show. Paul Pacheco, remember, I'm always coming back to Los Angeles. Billy Wilkins, one of the most amazing guitar players, singers, creators, musicians in my hometown of Scotch Plains, New Jersey. Mark DiFrancesco, Betsy Donatelli, and, of course, Brandon Bruno, who has Rockstar Clothing, one of my greatest sponsors from back in the day. It's nice to see you guys. Now, I know one of the craziest things in the news right now is the Golden Globes. And what did Ricky Gervais do as the host of the Golden Globes? Well, I don't know if he did what I would say that I would do, but I would love to host the Golden Globes. I got shit I want to talk about, and I got stuff I want to make fun of. He did take a good stab at it, and he did make me laugh. I like that type of a thing. It's not always good for everybody. They'll probably never ask him back again, but boy, I tell you, it was something different, and it sure did make people get really upset that we're in that office, in that audience. I also really appreciate the fact that, you know, maybe sometimes our president does things that shocks the shit out of everybody. That's why I wish I was president of the United States. I would never shock anybody. You wouldn't know I did what I did. In fact, if one of the most notorious, Army sergeant captains of a foreign country disappeared, I would just say, well, I don't know what happened, but he's gone now, and there's nothing you can do about it. How great would that be? Thanks for live video, Marino. Thank you, pal. Thank you for always writing into the show. Listen, everybody, I appreciate when everybody writes into the show. Of course, it comes in so fast while I'm broadcasting, I can't get back to everybody that fast, and I do want to drop a message. Because not only am I broadcasting live on Facebook and Instagram, but this is also being heard on iTunes, so you can't see what I'm doing, and you don't see what this looks like, so you have to hear the commentary and be happy with what's coming out of my mouth, and I can fulfill your day, your dream, make you laugh a little bit, forget about life. Life is fucking tough sometimes. It seems to me these days people are a lot nastier and meaner than they've ever been in our entire existence. I could be wrong. They voted that New York City and New Jersey is two of the top states with the nastiest, meanest people. Now, I don't know if that's true because I have a lot of people in this area that I find to be very, very nice, like my neighbors. But every once in a while, I think people from New York and New Jersey have had enough. And you feel like saying, you know what the fuck do you want from me? Maybe they should just get to the point and say, this is what I want, and then we can get it done. Do you have anybody in your life that's a bullshitter and you know he's a bullshitter? You feel like looking at him and going, you know what? I should just kick your fucking ass. If I didn't have my gallbladder removed from my stomach on New Year's Eve, there was this one motherfucker, I wanted to punch him right in his fucking, bust his fucking nose and say, Happy New Year, jerk off. But I didn't. I said, Happy New Year. And under my breath, I said, jerk off. Because I was sick. I'm also in my 50s. It's not like I can punch the shit out of somebody for more than 30 seconds. That's all I got. If I ever had to do a ground and pound, I wouldn't last more than a minute because I'm older. But when I was a kid, I used to scrap. I told you, that's why I have rocks in my bladder. So let's get back to the point. Maybe in 2020, somewhere, somehow, people could be happier and nicer to each other. But if you don't want to be nice to somebody, that's okay. And you don't want to have that nice thing about you, that's okay too. Just don't bullshit nobody. If you don't have it, say, I don't have it. If you're not going to do something, say, no, I'm not going to do it. But don't start off with, hey, man, you know what we should do? I'm going to introduce you to this guy. He knows everybody. This guy got tons of money. We're going to finance. We're going to this. We're going to. No, you're not. You're going to fucking waste my time at a lunch that I don't feel like eating at. That's what's going to happen, especially in Los Angeles where everybody is full of fucking shit. Don't get me started. I'm trying to keep my show clean because I know there's a lot of kids watching my show. In fact, one of the last shows I did on a cruise ship, 3,000 people in this big, big theater laughing, screaming. And who do I meet? A family from Pakistan laughing their asses off with a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old kid going, you are absolutely the funniest things alive. And I'm like, man, that is fucking great. So I enjoyed that. If I can make children laugh, I'm doing something right. And if I can make people from a foreign country who their fourth language is English, I mean, come on. That just tells you right there. Although us people from New York and New Jersey have attitudes, we're fun to watch, and they all want to be like us. So that's why I say, vote for me, Mike Marino, as I run for president of the United States in 2020. Keep on watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. Come to one of my shows when I entertain live in one of your neighborhoods by going to MikeMarino.net. And remember, let's make America Italian again. You don't know nothing, you didn't see nothing, you don't say nothing. And how do I end every single one of my broadcasts? By always saying the same thing. Don't take no shit from nobody. Good night. Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.